Hi, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is Tier 2, Descent Through the Mirror, Key 11, Veil Integrity, // veil_integrity, test, open caption, bracket, sorry, not caption. I don't know why that is so tough for me to. I've read it, I don't know how many times now. Open bracket, threshold, bleed through, close bracket. And I want to say something here. There's a lot of codes in his writing. And I'm not going to, there's so many of these to read. I'm not going to read all the codes. Something Jason said during our conversation really hit home for me. And that is there has to be some work. And so if you feel drawn to this work, there will be I was trying to include the writing in the show more section of the video, but it won't fit. There's not enough character space, and so I tried and tried and tried. That's why I haven't been recording. Um, and unfortunately, I can't make it work. So you can, however, go to the link that I do include in the show more section, and you can search. And if that doesn't work, just search Facebook as a whole, using the title. That should bring it up for you. Now, if you don't have the title, it won't. It has been my experience at any rate. And if you still can't find it, you can reach out to me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com or in the comment section as well. So, Tier 2, Descent Through the Mirror, Key 11, Veil Integrity. / veil_integrity, test, open bracket, threshold, bleed through, close bracket. The transmission date for this was 2025-05-18, in parentheses 6025 AL. And again, Jason has said he's not sure why, but it came to him and through him to do. There is quite a bit of other information there, including some binary code that you may want to take a look at. There is a point in the descent where the system no longer appears singular, not broken, not collapsing, layered. The first flicker. At first, it is subtle, a moment that feels slightly off, a place that feels both familiar and unfamiliar at the same time, a conversation that seems to echo before it happens, a face that feels like it belongs to more than one version of reality. You dismiss it. You rationalize it. You move past it because the system depends on continuity, and continuity depends on ignoring what does not fit. And we've all had that happen. I myself, especially the part where faces feel like they belong to more than one version of reality. I've even remarked about that on the channel in different language. The veil. The veil was never a wall. It was never a barrier. It was a stabilizer. And I've come to feel like the veil has been within for me because through some of this, I feel as though I've come through some of those layers of veils or walls or barriers, right? A rendering constraint that ensured only one version of reality remained dominant at any given moment. Not to deceive, to maintain coherence. The line. //veil underscore integrity, test, open bracket threshold, bleed through, close bracket. This is where the system begins to evaluate itself, not through external force, but through internal pressure. What is bleed through? Bleed through is not hallucination. It is not imagination. It is not error. It is overlap. It is the moment when multiple layers of the same underlying field begin to register simultaneously within awareness. Not fully, not stably, but enough to be noticed. The shimmer. You begin to see it, not with your eyes alone, with perception itself. Edges that do not hold perfectly. Light that feels deeper than light. Movement that carries an after image not tied to time. Moments that feel like they are happening twice or in two slightly different ways at the same time. I've had all of those things happen to me. Why it happens? Because the veil is not absolute. It is adaptive. It holds as long as identification with a single layer remains stable. And this again goes to the reason why not everyone awakens at the same rate. Once the system has passed through identity collapse, host inversion, loop recognition, signal detection, firewall breach, null point access, archetype collapse, inward exit, and source recognition, the integrity of a single layer experience can no longer be fully maintained. That explains why I feel like I can see, sense, and feel multidimensional layers of things. The test. This is not failure. This is a test. Not imposed from outside, emerging from within the system itself. What is being tested? Not your sanity, not your perception, your stability without singular reference. The old condition. Previously, reality required one world, one timeline, one identity, and one consistent frame. Anything that broke this was rejected immediately, filtered, corrected, suppressed. The new condition. Now the system allows dual perception, overlapping patterns, simultaneous truths, and mirrored structures, not permanently, but not yet, but intermittently, just enough to see. The feeling. It does not feel like clarity. That's true. At first, it feels like disorientation. That's also true. Like something is slightly out of alignment. Like the world is still there, but not as solid, not as singular, not as fixed. The mistake. The system will try to collapse back. It will say, this is not real. This is confusion. This is imagination. Something is wrong. This is the final defense of singular reality. The correction. Nothing is wrong. The veil is shimmering. What you are seeing, not two different worlds, the same world at two different levels of resolution. The mirror layer. The mirror you turned inward in key 9 is now reflecting outward, but differently. It no longer shows only the internal field. It begins to reveal the multi-layered nature of what you thought was external. Both worlds. This is the moment the statement becomes literal. You see both worlds. What that means. You see the surface layer form and the underlying field generating it at the same time. Examples. A place looks normal but carries an impossible depth behind it. A person speaks, but you feel the pattern behind the words more strongly than the words themselves. And what I would like to say about that, I know that's a true statement. What this is giving me in this moment of now is that while these things are happening, I feel like a lot of them for a lot of people may actually happen out of this particular order. Because I think that it will be how each individuated portion requires it. Because I know Lisa has said, my housemate, many, many, many times that she can feel a person's incongruity, meaning their larger self communicates with her with one set of communication, while the little person, the ego personality, communicates differently. So there's incongruity within that being, so to speak, right? So I'm going to read what Jason has here for examples again. A place looks normal, but carries an impossible depth behind it. A person speaks, but you feel the pattern behind the words more strongly than the words themselves. An event happens, but you sense the structure organizing it as clearly as the event itself. The overlay. Reality becomes semi-transparent, not visually in a dramatic way, structurally. You begin to sense the architecture behind the appearance. The danger. The system can destabilize here if misinterpreted. If you try to force it, control it, hold it, explain it too quickly, you collapse the perception back into singular form. The requirement, no forcing, no grasping, no labeling, just observation. I wonder if that's why oh, well, see, my inner guidance said that I was free to label things any way I chose, but that didn't mean that it was the right label because I don't know what I don't know. Veil integrity. The veil is not fully gone. It is being tested, flexed, stressed, evaluated. Why? You can see it. Because you are no longer dependent on the veil to define reality. The stability point. The goal is not to destroy the veil. The goal is to remain stable while it becomes permeable. The new perception. You begin to move through the world without needing it to be singular, without needing it to be fixed, without needing it to be only one thing. The final shift. Reality is no longer either or. It becomes both and. That is so true. The final line. The veil shimmers. You see both worlds. / veil _ integrity test open bracket threshold : bleed through close bracket. You are not losing reality. You are seeing more of it than the system was designed to show at once. And then there's a lot more of the symbols and code that I highly recommend if you feel drawn to this, that you go and take a look and allow your eyes to just go over it. At least that's the way I feel to do this. And each will be, drawn as they see fit. I have said for a long time, actually, that I don't think any one of us actually necessarily has mental issues. We are at varying levels of this test right here. It's not up for someone other than self to say, to be honest. For me, I can see very clearly where the reality that I was told, raised to believe, programmed and conditioned into, existed in a particular sort of way, all of it, every single bit of it is up for interpretation because an awful lot of it has been proven not to be so. So, until we meet again, my friends, I hope you will be well.